it could have been worse, Mike. She could have been backhanded with some sausage across the face. That probably wouldn't have felt that great. But Sausage Party's coming out, everybody. Sausage Party is coming for the sequel to the original R-rated comedy movie that came out by Seth Rogen. Well, apparently Seth Rogen's like, hey guys, people want more sausage, so get that Sausage Party out there. So Amazon Prime.
You're so full of shit. You never had COVID. You're talking about people getting slapped in the face with this sausage. You didn't have COVID.
Laughed across the face of that Sausage Party. But it's called Foodtopia. That's what it's called. Sausage Party Foodtopia, coming to Amazon Prime. They have not announced how many episodes yet, but Seth Rogen said that it's going to be unbelievably shocking. If you thought the first one was shocking, this was even more so. That's unbelievably terrible. I agree, Rachel. This is happening, though. It's moving forward. You got big cast coming back. I mean, of course, Seth Rogen, Kristen Wiig, Michael Cera, David Crummets. You have Edward Norton in here too, and also joining the cast, Will Forte, Sam Richardson, Natasha Rothwell, and Yasser Lester, who will also have more people probably coming. They had lots of names in the first one, and they said that they were going into the TV realm because that's where everything is going these days with streaming. It just made more sense. And of course, Seth Rogen's doing more streaming too. He's got that Platonic on Apple TV Plus. So it made sense to branch this into television. Amazon was all about it. Apparently the execs were like, oh God, watching some of these scenes. Apparently there's a scene with Kristen Wiig where they were just like, can we air this? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. So they're pushing the barriers, bringing that sausage back, and hopefully not slapping people or backhanding people with it. I hope not. But for me, there's no need for this. I don't understand why we're diving into this R-rated territory. It was like the number one R-rated movie, like highest grossing for like 6 years, by the way, until someone just passed them up just recently. So, but do we need it?
There's
Mike,
not a lot
what do you
of
think?
competition in the R-rated adult animation realm. Like,
you're right, Rachel.
It was winning by default.
So, Rachel, you weren't a fan of Sausage Party, then I'm guessing.
No, it's terrible. It was the worst movie I saw that year. I would rather be backhanded by that guy's security team than watch anything from Sausage Party again.
Are you surprised though, Rachel, they're doing this? Because I'm not really surprised, but
no,
I'm
honestly. Yes, because of quality. No, because of who's involved. Seth Rogen can get whatever he wants greenlit. That's just
that's what's happening here.
I think so too, and you have tacos. I think it's just if you see the cast of characters here, the buns look like they're ready to get fucked
racist.
Right now.
It was poor quality. It was terrible.
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And they had, I guess the buns had boobs, all that kind of stuff. Mike, were you a fan of this at all? Or are you surprised this is coming? You think that Seth Rogen needs to calm the fuck down and leave the sausage in the past?
This isn't how I feel, but I do like it when you said, leave the sausage in the past. So I just wanted to take a moment to repeat that. Brian, you've known me for a while. I have an affinity for the vulgar. I just do. I think it helps adults release stress, just by saying things the way that they feel them in their minds, not modulating them for their environments, by using words that are considered impolite. I get that. I think that there's utility all up and down the line for this shit. That said, I tried to watch Sausage Party and I was like, oh, they're really trying to do a cutesy thing, which I guess is trying to balance, just the disgusting vulgarity. If
you can be vulgar and funny. This was vulgar, but not funny.
Vulgar just to be vulgar, it didn't
just to be vulgar.
It seemed like they were trying to be cute. I couldn't watch it. I had to give it up. Maybe it's just these gross, and I mean gross in the clinical term, clinical approximations of human genitalia. This might just be my personal hang-ups. I have no legitimate way of discerning between whether this is something that's frightening and should be shunned away from society at large, or this is my own personal problems with a legitimate artist's true
my problem wasn't ideologically; it was just execution.
Yeah.
Make wiener jokes with hot dogs. It's funny. It is funny to make wiener jokes with hot dogs. They did it
writes
badly,
itself.
Though.
Maybe they use Chat GPT to do it. Maybe that's why.
Okay. So,
it might have been some.
That's true. You could. They're just gonna. It's just gonna be from here on out. this is going to be the next Simpsons. There's going to be 38 seasons of like,
Oh, geez, don't say that.
no.
Don't say
Hot
that. We do
dog-
not want that,
hot
Mike.
dog penis
No.
jokes. Like, or maybe that's what happened. Like somebody just typed in hot dog penis jokes into ChatGPT.
And they're
Could
like,
probably get better
sausage
results
party.
than that.
We're gonna cash in on this.
cash in on that sausage.
And there was an unnecessary amount of racism in it. Why was it so?
There was a lot of racism.
You got to try and be edgy, right? Like if you're edgy,
And it was
you're
like,
oh,
what,
we're
2018
sexually
it
edgy. We
came
got to
out?
be racially edgy.
And like Selma Hayek was the taco, I think, too. And it was like super sketch.
Like
But
South Park did it, right?
it's true.
Like,
They did do it. South Park did it, but they did it good. They did it right. They didn't push it too far. It wasn't the vulgar. Yeah. But this is just like I think they think it's funny, but I think it's also again like we talked about other pieces that are that like work later on, but they just don't work nowadays. They work before, now they don't work. Like we talked about dodgeball before, worked back in the 90s, but probably won't work now. But they're gonna still do that. And this is one of those things too that maybe it did work well at that time, but I don't think the audience is there for this these days. And I don't think it's gonna be a big hit. They won.
I got it in the red box. It was bad when it came out. It was bad.
Yeah.
That's
What do you got there, Mike?
I've got one technical thought, which is just that maybe it's because they're like, oh, like we've got all the work done on the front end, all the wireframe models are already mocked out for CG, so now we just need people to manipulate the models, like which is way cheaper. Like it's just that and the backdrops and the voice actors. Like that's a cheaper way to make a show, and also pretending that you're jumping on the success of like, oh, this is a big property. Like it's not a big property, but you're making use of existing IP, right? Without having to spend money on it again.